Hey everybody, we're back. If you're new, thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon, that's Coco. Yay is back there playing. Click that subscribe button, please. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. Okay, y'all, today we are going over this Morphe collection. Let me tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I'll insert clips of me actually using the palette and the brushes. So this is the Morphe 1971 Unity collection with Coca-Cola. My husband ordered it. He was like, oh, Morphe had a collab with Coca-Cola, so I ordered it. And when I opened the box, because I hadn't even looked it up, I opened the box and I was just like, why isn't there like red and black? I was so confused but just by the packaging until I realized it was the 1971 Coca-Cola Unity thing that they had going on. So that's why you have like the flowers and the smiley faces and everything like that. This collab for all of it, that would be the eyeshadow palette, the 4 lip glosses, the brushes, and there's also mascara, which my husband didn't get. If you got all of it after tax, it would probably be close to $80-ish, depending on, you know, how much tax you actually pay. So let's go over the brushes first. I was actually pleasantly surprised by the brushes in here. So you get a little package. It's stuffed full of paper, but then you get the brushes individually wrapped. I used all of them except for this one, and I actually didn't need to use any other brushes to create this look. So I was really, really happy with this. The brushes by themselves retail for $27. Online, it says it's a $47 value. I would definitely recommend these brushes. I'm not super big on the case, but the brushes actually performed really, really well. I used this all over my lid. I also used this to blend. I used this brush here for the gold, and then I also used it for my inner corner. I use this for the darkest shade to go in the crease in the outer corner. I actually used this brush to do my liner because y'all know I really do love powdered liner, like using a black eyeshadow or a dark eyeshadow for a liner. So I used this one, and I actually like this better than my other brushes because it's wider, so it covers more ground, but it's also flexible. It's not as firm as my other brushes. It's very flexible. So all in all, and I guess this one would be more like a blending brush. None of them actually have a name. They all just say Coca-Cola times Morphe. This would probably be a nice blending brush, but I didn't even need to use it because I had this one, which is a little bit bigger. If you look, they're pretty similar, but they're not the same. One is obviously bigger. I did use the gloss today. You get 4 glosses. They're like mini size. They're not a full size gloss, so I will say that. The glosses retail for $19 for this pack, and then the mascara, if you did want to get it, is $12. So you get 4 different shades. This, I will show you the shade that I used first. It's this one. This is the shade that we're wearing today. It's Perfect World. I feel like it just looks really good. I did have to do a few dippies in there to kind of build up the color, but the color did build up, so I'm not mad at it. These are the 2 lighter shades, and when I looked at them, I was just kind of like, oh, why did we get 2 shades that are so similar? I kind of didn't like that, but I feel like one might have a little bit more gold to it. I think the one that I have on has more gold to it. This is Join Voices. So this is what those 2 look like. You can see a slight difference, but I would have liked to see a different shade range because you're only getting 4, and for $20, you know, I kind of want to see a little bit more. And then you have the last 2, the purple shade and the corally peach shade. The purple shade is All the Feels, and the coral peachy shade is Full of Hope. That purple actually has a lot of pigment to it. It reminds me of, I think, an Anastasia that I have, and it's like jelly or something like that. I like this coral. So this is all of them. I feel like they have a pretty good pigmentation to them. They don't feel sticky. It feels really smooth. It does kind of feel hydrating too. I feel like this is a gloss that I would actually like to use. Okay, y'all, let me tell y'all why I'm wearing a corsage, because you're probably like, why the hell is she wearing a corsage to this whole thing? So my husband came home yesterday with this. A while ago, I had mentioned that I never actually went to my own prom. And so he just randomly got me this, and it was pretty, and I just felt like I needed to do something with it. Although I should have the thing that goes on your wrist. This one is for the boys, but it's the thought that it's genuinely the thought that counts. So that's why I'm wearing this today, and I know I look ridiculous, but that's why. Okay, y'all, this is the palette in all her glory. She is cardboard. She does come with a pretty good size mirror. I don't want to blind y'all with it. Cute little packaging, and this one retails for $22 on their website. If you go to their website, if you're new or if you have another email that you can add to it, they will ask you if you want a 20% off or 30% off your next purchase coupon if you just give them your email. So So if you want to get this, it would be really great if that popped up and you could get that, because you could actually save a lot of money with that. Anyway, let's jump into this. I'll go over the shades that I used first, and then we'll go ahead and swatch them. So I started with Join Hands. I put that all over my lids. I used the pink brush, and it really just, it showed up so well. I was absolutely surprised at how well it showed up with the brush and everything, and how smoothly it all blended together. I will say, I feel like when I use my velvetizer to set my concealer, because y'all know I use concealer instead of eyeshadow primer, I feel like the eyeshadows just always blend seamlessly no matter what I use. So I would highly recommend this if you can, if that's your thing. If primer is your thing, then whatever. Anyway, the next shade I went in with was this darker brown here. This is Warm Fuzzies. Yeah. This one I put in the inner crease and the outer corner, and I was amazed at the pigmentation after just one dip. I did use the black brush, and I went in and it just blended so well. And then I went back in with the pink brush and kind of blended it all together, and it was amazing. Like, I am really enjoying this palette. After that, I went in with this shade here. It's kind of a goldish, coppery kind of shade. It's Perfect Harmony. I put it right here on my lid, and I used the orange brush for that, and it applied really nicely. This brush is so small, and with my hooded lids, this just worked really, really well for me. I also used this to pick up the color for my inner corner, and that one I used Lovey Dovey, this shade here, and it just showed up really well. I did want to try to use the palette and this brush to do my eyeliner, so I went in. They don't have a black, unfortunately, but they do have this dark brown, Iconic Italy. So I did go in with this shade here and this brush, and I think this will be my go-to brush from now on, because it's wider than my other brush that I use, but it's also just flexible, and I really liked that about this brush. I do want to swatch this shade here. I feel like this one here, I don't know what color it's gonna look like when it's, you know, depending on the way you turn, so I'm excited to swatch that. Let's jump into some swatches. There's a lot to swatch here, and I don't want this video to take forever, so I'm going to swatch a row, show you, swatch a row, show you, swatch a row, show you. Y'all, Coco's covering her face so we can focus here. This is the first row. It's so creamy and so smooth. Oh, she uncovered her face. It's so creamy and so smooth. I'm not mad at what you're getting here. I do kind of wish this shade had a little bit less yellow to it, because sometimes I do like to put a shade under my brow bone, but that's okay. I feel like I could still work with this one. I feel like this could be a travel palette for me, because it does have that highlighter in there. Whereas this shade that actually looks pretty nice for the inner corners. So, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this. It's not necessarily my thing. It does go with the packaging though. Okay, y'all, this is the next row. I don't know about those bottom two colors. It's not really my thing, but I don't dislike them. The quality is there. You do get 10 shimmer shades and 8 matte shades in this palette. So there's a lot that you can actually do with this palette. You have so many options, and if colors are your thing, you definitely do get some colors in this palette. Y'all know neutrals are my thing, so most likely I'm the type that's gonna stick over to this side right here, but I'm not mad at these other shades. And these shimmers, they are very, very creamy. They are so creamy. Yep, it has a purple blue tint to it, so depending on how you're facing, you'll see purple or blue or pink. Let me wipe my fingers because I have makeup all over. Okay, so that's what those look like. Honestly, y'all, I'm not mad at this palette. I feel like there's so much you could do with it. That's pretty. These two shades are pretty. This copper, when I swatched it, I was just like, oh my God, that's freaking, it's gorgeous. Let me wipe it so I can tell you the actual name. Oh no, it's Bling Along. It's called Bling Along, not Billabong. Bling Along. Sorry, I'd gotten eyeshadow all over it when I was swatching because I'm a hot mess. God, it's just pretty. It's pretty. And it's only $22 for this palette. Plus, I mean, you know, you can get if you can get that 20 or 30% discount code for, y'all, if I was like a big YouTuber, I would be like a brand ambassador for them and they would send me free stuff and PR boxes, but I'm not. I have to pay for my stuff, so I don't have a code to give you. But if you go and add add your email or whatever, you can get like a 20 or 30% off code. So that's a good deal. Okay, y'all. So all in all, what I'm thinking is I like the collection. I like the brushes. I like the gloss. I like the palette is even nice. I'm surprised that in general, I like this whole thing. Although I'm not a big fan of like this kind of flower print or even these bags because they don't hold enough for me. Overall, I'm gonna give this 10 out of 10 because I say 10 out of 10, but I would like to have seen a black eyeshadow in here, because if there was a black eyeshadow, this would be, you know, 100% travel worthy. So I'd say maybe that's the only downside to this palette, is there's no black, but otherwise I love the palette. I'm overly happy with the brushes and the quality there. Morphe is really, for me, hit or miss. I bought that James Charles collab and it came with like the carrying case that buttons close, and honestly the quality on those brushes are just not good. Anyway, the camera's about to die, so we gotta end this, y'all. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, click the bell, all those good things. Bye!